Welcome back to Stay Tuned. I'm Tony Angelo, and today we're gonna get my V12 powered Fox body Mustang out and ripping down these Pennsylvania back roads for the first time ever. Let's go. So we did so much work on this car last week. We got it fired up. It was spinning the tires on the lift. And earlier today, we had to move a bunch of cars around, and I realized I got in, fired it up, and I just drove it out of here. Now, it doesn't have a cooling system, it doesn't charge, it doesn't have an accessory drive. We're gonna get to all that. The exhaust doesn't fit for some reason, even though it was built for this car. We're gonna get to that. And there's no seats, and you can't bolt a seat in it anyway because the seat mounts are torn out of it. If we fix all that, we can take this puppy out on the road and hear that V12 sing for the first time in 2.5 years we've been working on this thing, and I'm super pumped. So let's get thrashing. Yeah, we're gonna have some late nights. It's gonna be sleepless in Seattle over here. Except we're in Pennsylvania. If it's new, we're actually outside of Philly. I'm just making stupid rainy weather jokes. Why don't you take this off? I'm gonna start repairing the seat brackets.
Okay.
I was kind of amazed that these front seat mounts were torn out of this seemingly stock car, but lots of guys in the comments said, no, that's no big deal. You can see it's about to tear this slug right out of here. So I will hammer it back into place, clean it, weld it, stitch it back together. This one seems mostly intact, and then I will reinforce it with a plate on top. All right, so you can see this is just about ready to rip out of the car. It is the front outside seat mount. I'm gonna tap it back into place. I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna stitch it together, and then I'll have to plate it in so that we can sleep at night when we're hammering 475 British V12 Horsemans down the road. All right, so we have these two reinforcement plates that Declan made sitting in here. Everything around it is cleaned up. I had him open up the hole in the center. I'm actually gonna weld the plate right to the stud. And quick tip, I'm gonna throw nuts on here as I weld so I don't get a bunch of like extra slag in these threads and ruin these studs. Okay, so, and I actually will probably use it to center it and hold it down to start with. And what's nice, if you're ever welding sheet metal, it doesn't fit perfectly, hit the spots that fit beautifully. Get your hammer out, tap, 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 keep welding. You'll get it. Make it all fit. A really great tip is turn your welder on before you weld. Welded. All right, feeling good. We're jamming along. Fixed seat mounts, done. Also, we mounted the board to this door, which feels good too. All right, if you want to drive your car more than 2 miles or so at a time, you should get yourself an alternator. They recharge your battery. It's a good deal. So we need to fit one of this car. There are factory mounts here, and I have a factory alternator. But with the Ford Mustang engine bay, they don't really want to fit this thing. So I'm going to do just a little bit of cutting and welding. I don't think it's too far off. I think it's close-ish. It's hard to tell because you just can't get anything anywhere near it. But I'm going to do a quick mock-up on this frame rail and cut down the... I started cutting the lip down. and see how much of it we can kind of scallop and section and weld back together. But I do want to just kind of line it up there and there. All right, let me get that white paint pen if you don't mind, Declan. All right, let's get the cutting.
You want a fresh one?
Do you want a fresh one? Just kidding. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that would be actually cool. All right, so we've got it cut enough that the alternator does fit in here, but the main lug is like right here. The main output of the alternator is pretty close to this metal, and I'd like to clean it up. It's got this random square cut out in it, so I think what I'm gonna do is cut to this square on the top, lay a piece in. I'm gonna back this up, so I'm cutting this square off too, so it's not just randomly hanging out in space. Then I'll be able to lay an angle piece in and a couple triangles, then it'll be all closed off. So just a little more cutting on the old Fox body, and we'll be in business. There we go. That's good. That'll do.
There you go.
All right, time to weld it. It's sheet metal with a gap, so it's happy to be welded. Declan cut some corners, and I'm gonna weld them in, the good kind.
That's bright red, or yeah.
How red is that?
Looks like fire engine red.
That's pretty red. That's very red.
Yeah. Got a maroon in there. Let's get in here.
Cool, all right, we've got our fire engine red paint drying. We'll maybe get some maroon in the morning. Feeling good, we're gonna let that dry, pass out, come back, and get rocking. Next stuff, cooling system, get this accessory drive working, and then we've gotta make an exhaust. And seats, we need seats, and a bunch of other stuff. Rad, cooling chart, notched frame rail.
Let's go.
Ooh, there, notch the frame rail, done. Set toe and go, no, get rad, yeah, check. Super rad. All right, it is the morning, paint is dry, we are rocking and rolling. I realize we're missing a bunch of idler pulleys on the accessory drive for this Aston Martin. What people don't know is that idler pulleys are basically like this industry standard, they're all the same. I did a quick search for Aston Martin idler pulleys, they're like 150 bucks a piece. You get them from Scuderia Ferrari. I'm not doing that. Basically, every single one made on a modern car rides on a 17 millimeter arbor. The inside diameter of the bearing race is all the same. So I went out, I just Googled at my local parts store, just looked for some that were in stock. I didn't care what car they were for. I just wrote idler pulley in stock, found some that are gonna work. These were $18.99 a piece. These were 32 bucks. These were $18.99 for the smooth pulley. And I had looked, I found a diagram online, as you can see. So I'm gonna run a smooth pulley here and here, just like Aston Martin did. That's it, goes right on, beautiful. Then I'll do rib pulley here. And since we are gonna delete the mechanical power steering, I have to make an idler. So I'm gonna make a little mount here. I'll start that up right now, just to hold in a separate ribbed idler pulley. So a little bit of fab, we'll make a plate, weld a sleeve to it and bolt this thing in. And then we can get a belt on this thing and that'll be awesome. Then we can move on to cooling. Accessory drive will be done. I could maybe cut up this old engine stand block.
Yeah.
And then just tap the end of it, drill and tap the end of it. That might be it.
Yeah.
You said 3 inches?
Yeah.
All right, so we're making our quick and not so dirty tensioner idler pulley, and I was able to drill a full inch into this solid stock with one of those hand-me-down Boeing bits that somebody sent us last month. They are wicked, and I'm feeling good about this. This is, again, just a solid block of steel. Declan made a plate. We're gonna weld it all together. Essentially, I'm gonna tap this to M10. M10 fits in this collet beautifully. This comes with some of the pulleys. Sit on there, the pulley will sit right on it. We'll weld it up and we'll be done. Power steering, delete, activated. That went awesome. The only question is, how do we keep it level and perfect? Then we'll figure that out in a minute. But man, having some good tools makes things. Look at that! Look at that tap on that sucker. Awesome. All right, blow that out or brush it out and call it thing. So Declan's plate is here. Here's my hunk of engine stand. I'll weld it up once we align everything, and that'll be done. That'll be a nice power steering delete. And then we can get a belt on this thing, and that feels good. Yeah. I just broke a thread cleaner in that Aston Martin front timing cover. I just was saying, as I'm hammering on it, oh, you know, this is all matter of fact, but I sure hope we don't break anything in this timing cover. And then 1 second later, I broke this off in the timing cover. And Declan was like, don't worry, there's another one on Facebook Marketplace for 10 grand. There is another motor, but that's a problem. We're gonna try to weld it out, but I should be more careful or something, or I don't know, maybe. Am I like, can I see the future? I don't know. I might be a gypsy. I have no idea. A lot of personal development happening here. I might be a wizard. I said, I hope that doesn't happen, and then it happened. So we're gonna try to weld a nut on there. I sure hope we don't hit 1 million subs this month, or I sure hope I don't hit a 40s growth spurt and reach 6 feet. That would be the worst. That'd be, you know, just in case. Knock on wood or whatever.
It's cracked up to be.
Shut up, liar.
Yeah, it rules.
You're a liar. Please come out of there. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go.
I'll do that again.
All right.
I wasn't scared.
Let's never. I'm gonna give a quick tack on this thing. License plate will protect the motor. And we'll go from there. Now, this is for the 911. We need this one. Put it backwards. Pull it tight, buddy.
Yep.
Hella tight. Good? Awesome. Sick. All right, that feels good. I'm gonna weld it up. All right, so if your motor's been sitting forever and you have a steel pulley, it can get corroded and gross and covered in garbage, and it'll tear up a new belt. So we have that on our crank pulley. We're gonna clean it up right now with something we call kinetic cleaning. Fire it up, Declan. A little more. That'll do. Shut her down. That kind of worked. So before I yank out that idler setup we made and fully weld it, we're gonna measure for belts and send Declan off to the store. So it's gonna be 46 feet long, it looks like. Very long. Down to those two and then back under. So these two split under these tensioners and then
guy goes there. Correct.
Yeah, and then they go like this.
Cool. Alright.
You got a mark?
You grab like a marker or something. Coons or
Come on, Coons. He's got it on him. He's rocking his overalls. He's ready to rock.
just mark it right there.
Got it?
Yep. Should be good.
Cool. All right, it's time to weld this puppy up. Declan is going to the store for round 2. Anytime I've ever bought belts, I usually get it right on the 6th or 7th try. He's going to try to do it in 2. We'll see. Time to paint that fire engine red. Well, after it cools down a lot. I said we were going to paint it fire engine red, but Declan painted it black. It's fine, no big deal. But we're going to have a belt on this thing for the first time. Stoked about that. That'll finish up our accessory drive. Our little idler pulley is in there looking strong. I'm pumped about it. Declan's been to the parts store twice now for belts.
No, we got a first try. What do you mean?
No way. These go down here. That's it.
No.
There you go. That's it. Belted up. There's a little clearance there. That's all we need. All right, accessory drive is done. Basically, charging system is done too. That took a little bit of time, but it turned out awesome. Now, it's time to go out. We need seats. We just got a call from one of Declan's buddies who runs a shop out here. He's got seats for us, so we're gonna get the truck and get rocking. So before we hit the road and grab those parts, I'm gonna do a couple upgrades to our absolute workhorse 2014 Ram 2500. I got this thing about a year ago. It's been an absolute tank. It is a 2-wheel drive, 6.7 liter turbo diesel Cummins motor. It has 207,000 miles on it currently, which means we've put 15,000 miles on it since we got it 8 months ago. We use it for everything. Run around town, it gets great mileage, like unloaded, it will pull an enclosed trailer, it does it all. But we need to do some upgrades. I bought the cheapest solid truck I can. I always buy the cheapest solid thing I can. Actually, not the solid. I always buy the cheapest thing I can. This one turned out to be really solid. I want to do a little bit of upgrades to it. It's the Tradesman, so you see it's got like no frills. It's 2-wheel drive. It's got the black plastic grille. It's got black painted bumpers. It's really like the stripper model. But I want to do a couple things to upgrade it. We're going to do them right now. Let's just get it up in the air. Assuming my lift will lift it up. This is going to be exciting. Fingers crossed, everybody. All right, it's up there. Okay. Yep. Yep. Whew! All right. Nobody breathe. Let's get these wheels off. One of the reasons I bought this truck is I think it was fleet maintained and it came out of California and Florida. Underneath, super spotless. I had Tyler at last winter, before last winter happened, do wool wax all over it. You can do wool wax or Croil. Those are both great underbody preservatives. They kind of coat everything. If you live in the Northeast and you're going to get salt all over your car no matter what, they're awesome because they protect, they seal everything up and protect it for years. So that works great. But 207,000 miles, we haven't really done anything except take this thing out and put the screws to it. And like we've been on long road trips, long trailering trips down to Derrick's. Picked it up in Maryland. We've been kind of all over with this thing. And you can see suspension is starting to give up the ghost. Front shocks are leaking for sure. The rear brakes are shot. And it's time for some upgrades. And I've got just the ticket. And here's a pile of killer parts that are going to upgrade every part of this truck. I've got some ADS racing shocks for the front. Could I have replaced those leaky stalkers with just some replacement parts? Absolutely. Is this overkill? Absolutely. Is it cool? Absolutely. And on the brake side, we're going to do bare cross-drilled and slotted rotors front to back with their bare brake pads. Again, overkill, definitely. Super cool, absolutely. And since we're gonna do a wheel and tire upgrade that's gonna throw off the OD of the whole package, we're gonna run an edge tuner as well. And Holley owns all these brands, and I'll tell you about a sweet deal I have going on in a minute. All right. We're running these ADS Mesa 2.5s. They're kind of off-road racy shocks, but really they're just heavy-duty shocks. You can run these at stock ride height. In the front, you can run them up to a 3-inch lift. In the back, you can run them up to 1.5-inch lift, but they're gonna work fine at stock ride height. We do a ton of towing with this thing. We've got motors in the back all the time. It's a heavy-duty truck, so having an upgraded shock absorber should make it feel really good without killing the ride quality. I'll keep you posted. There you go. Much greasy. All right, we yanked the old stock shocks out. It is in fact leaking. Other side's worse, so that feels good. We'll get rid of those things. I've got the ADS shock on this side. It's hanging a little long. I'm now gonna yank the left side stock one out. Should allow the axle to go low enough to bolt this up, and we'll put the other side in, and then both front shocks will be done. Let's go. All right, shocks are on the front. Feeling good. Now for the brakes. All right, it's a new day here. Declan is tearing apart the rear brakes. I've got the front apart. I'm gonna get ready to load up my calipers with new pads and clean out the sliders and stuff. Make sure we're rocking, and we should have this done pretty soon. All right, I'm hitting up the caliper bracket with a little bit of bear spray. What? Bear spray. It's not for Yogi. It's for your brakes. If you have a sliding caliper, always take 2 minutes and lube up the pins. These don't look bad. The backs that Declan has do look bad. So for some reason, it looks like the front brakes were done recently. The back's definitely in need of attention. If you start seeing rust and crust, do you get those cleaned up, Declan?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're dry, you're in trouble. These were just about to be problematic, but he caught them. Gonna clean them up, hit them with a little bit of very specific disc brake lube, put it back together, and then you'll be in business. I'm gonna pull these clips off. We got new clips with our new bear pads. Hamburgers. It's National Hamburger Day. So we're gonna skip pizza and get some burgers. All right, I'm gonna do a tiny dot of that lube in the new clips. Just right where these things ride. Obviously nowhere near the friction surface. Some people say don't do it. To those people I say, let's live dangerously. These things have more clips and springs and squeakers than most any brakes I've seen, but you do it just right. There we go. Get them level, slide it down, put it in. Boom. There it is. Beauty. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh. All right. Cross-shield rotors going on. It's a race truck now. Boom. You always want to check the rotation. Sometimes manufacturers, it looks like it should be going the other way or not. Bear says the leading edge out spins this way, so there you go. Leading edge out forward. So just, there's a picture. Look at it. I'm just pushing the pistons back in their bores with a C-clamp. No special tool needed here on the Dodge. Excuse me, on the Ram. I don't think they were a separate company by 2014. So I don't want to. It's a Dodge to me, if I'm being honest. I don't care what you call it. All right, got my loaded up. Disc brake pad, slider bracket. Put that puppy back in place. Hit these bolts with a little weasel squeeze. Anti-sleaze. Get these torque down to double. Right before the hernia hits, that's how tight these should be. Right when you start to hear stuff crackle, that's when they're tight enough. Right before your vision goes out, you did it. Torque spec is 85 foot-pounds. It's in the ballpark for sure. All right, now hopefully these have been pushed back. I can slide it all on, wipe it down with a little brake cleaner, and I'm done over here. Yep. We're gonna need that. That's it. Couple of bolts, we're golden. So anytime you do a brake job like this and there's no bleeding involved and you've pushed the calipers all the way back in, take maybe 1 second on a piece of tape, right? No brakes with like 11 exclamation points, and stick it on your steering wheel. That way when you get in and you hit the gas coming out of the garage, before you do that, push the brake down 20 times so you seat your pads again. If not, the first time you hit the brakes, they're not going to be there, and that's troublesome. All right, I'm all wrapped up here. All right, this corner's done. I'm gonna go put the brakes on the other side, and then we'll be ready to put this thing on the ground after we put on our new wheels and tires. Another sweet upgrade. Let's get it. Cool, all right, we've got our new shocks on. We've got our new bare rotors and pads on. We wound up tossing a caliper on this side. So this thing is fully dialed. Stoked. I can't just put those stock steel wheels back on. We've got some upgrades here. I'm rolling out a set of, these are the later style Dodge 2500 wheel. This is from OE Wheels. They're oewheelsllc.com. And they're awesome if you want like a different model or a different style of an OE looking wheel. There's tons of upgrades, like my Corvette has C7Zs on it. It looks really cool. And we've wrapped them in 10-ply Baja Legend Mickey Thompson tires. So we're gonna put these on this thing, drop it down on the ground, and pull it out of here. We have done some work here. About to have the ultimate tow and show rig here. If you can see, my dad's Camaro is behind us. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It's back from the paint shop, and I'm trying not to touch it with these 20-inch truck wheels. The overall diameter is a little bit bigger. It's about, I think it's like a 2.5-inch jump. It's the smallest one we could get. Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna sit down and do this. That's it. Okay, good. All right, that's looking sweet. Killer. Yeah. All right, that's last one there. So rounding out this package, we're gonna put on an edge tuner because we want the TPMS things to read, and we can get in there and change the speedo ratio, and we can put a little hot tune on this thing too. It's bone stock. It already makes 850 pound-feet of torque, but there's like an economy tune in here. There's a little bit of a hot towing tune, all stuff that's very easy to put on, and it shouldn't hurt anything. So we'll do a little bit of upgrading. And what's really cool, Holley has packages like this, off-road packages for all sorts of different trucks, the new Bronco, Tacoma, all that stuff. You can get an exhaust, a tuner, some suspension, these shocks, the Mesa shocks, and brake stuff, and they package everything for all these different new radical trucks. So check those things out. We are gonna hit the road now. This thing's the ultimate tow, rig, and parts runner. Stoked on it, and try to find some seats for this Mustang. Oh, and some hamburgers. It's cheeseburger day. National Cheeseburger Day. All right, so being outside of Philadelphia, again, we have all the best racing stuff, tons of hot rod stuff. We took a 20-minute drive. We're here at Fox Body Garage, and you can imagine they dismantle and part out and sell tons of Fox Body stuff. So we need a set of seats for the car, and they have nice ones, not so nice ones, 4 cylinders, the tweed ones. We're kind of figuring it all out. I think we're just gonna get a basic set of whatever seats for now, just so we can go cruising down the road, and then figure out a plan for the interior. But I want to just be able to, push the clutch down and stomp on the gas and not fall out of the car. So that'll be straightforward. They've got tons and tons to choose from, so we'll be rocking and rolling soon enough. right, we are back with the seats. We got some killer cheeseburgers for World Cheeseburger Day. I feel like we keep changing clothes this video.
Huh.
Wait, we should put on our new clothes. Yes, Stay Tuned is back in the merch game, and we've got a bunch of new designs. Here, check it out. That's better, feeling good. We have fully upgraded our merch program. We've got tons of stuff in stock, all the old classics, plus 3 new designs. If you want to get after it, get them while they're hot. Declan is going to toss in these seats, which we picked up, $350 with rails, and I am going to start working on the cooling system, and we will have this puppy out on the road in no time. All right, the plan is, since everyone's always noticed there's no room really for a radiator, we're going to sink it into the front core support where the AC condenser was. I started with a stock radiator, way too big, too much work to do that and shorten up. I actually have, this was from my Formula Drift Scion TC, and it's exactly the right size. I'm gonna work with the outlets a little bit, try not to smash anything like that. And if I get it in just right, I can shove it forward like that. And, you know, we're 60% of the way there. So I'm gonna start making some room in here, getting it mounted, and start making pipes and hoses and tubes and other stuff. I don't know. Let's get rocking.
All right.
You do the seats. I'll do this. I'm going to lower the AC condenser mounts a little bit and see if I can get it to fit in a little easier. All right, so Aston Martins have like a crazy radiator with 2 inlets at the top with 2 different hoses. I capped one side here. I just bought like a 1.5 inch silicone cap. It looks very short. It may blow off. If you guys know a better vendor or manufacturer that makes like a deeper cap for that, that'd be awesome. The upper hose fell together very easily. The lower hose, this radiator is obviously upside down. It's got a smaller hose on the bottom. So we're just gonna lop that off anyway and re-weld it. It's pointed directly out, towards the outside of the car and into the radiator support. So none of that's good. I'm gonna knock it off, try my hand at some TIG welding, and I'll put a bead on this and weld like a 3-inch extension where that 90 is, and we'll see if it works. It's been a while since I've TIG welded aluminum. We'll see what happens. We used to hand bead pipes with pliers with bends in them. Now you can get yourself a hand beater, one of these little machines. They do an awesome job, especially on aluminum. They're worth every dollar. It's not, bandsaw best tool in the shop good, but it's very good. Look at that, perfect. Yep, straight as can be. Sweet. I'll blow this all out and we'll get ready to weld this on here. Now this is 10 years old, 15 years old. It's had all sorts of fluids in it, so it's going to be as dirty as can be. It's going to weld badly. So, let's start making blame on whatever. That sounds good. It's not my fault. Let's see how it goes. We'll fire up the synchro wave, turn that sucker on AC, and let her eat. All right, I haven't TIG welded aluminum in a very long time. Usually there's somebody that's way better than me here, and I just let them do it. But today I'm the guy. That's cool, because I like TIG welding. It's just not anything I put a ton of time into. But I'm going to channel my best Colin Wolf here and see what I can do. I've made a mess, sort of a mess of a practice piece. Could have been worse. And I'm going to try to get this sucker on there square. All right. That's all right. It's more agricultural than it is, dropping dimes, but I think it'll work. Hopefully it's sealed up.
Good news is it's the bottom of the radiator.
Yeah, nobody will ever see this, right? Nope. Except the yeah. All right, I've got it welded on there. Hopefully it doesn't leak. Knock on whatever. Declan flipped the lower mounts we were using upside down and was able to put the isolators back on there. That's awesome. You know, we're trying to do stuff just once, not to do this 40 times and have some, you know, let's call it like makeshift temporary solutions just so we can drive it. So that's great. I'm gonna make a couple tabs here. Maybe like, you know, get a little foam or something. If you just come down here with straight with something, that'd be two pretty fine mounts. We could call that done. If you want to make those up, I'll put a fan on this thing and a plug in the bottom and we'll put it in for good. It's way lower, that's perfect. Sick, nice work. Nice work, bud. All right, we're gonna put on our Spall fan. These are my favorites. They're made in Italy. They are killer. We've got a B&M fan kit. We'll probably try to get two smaller fans and make a shroud at some point to get a little bit more coverage, but this should be awesome and good for now. And it reminded me that Holley is having a killer Memorial Day sale right now on a ton of the stuff that they have, all these different brands. They have B&M and they have Spall, but they're doing like the Flowmaster Signature Series. You can get a ton of money off of that. The Holley Accessory drive kits, which are incredible for all like popular V8 swaps. They work really, really well. You can get $300 off those. Those accessory drives are awesome. We use them all the time. They are really great about fitting a swap into all sorts of different chassis. Obviously, Holley carburetors, Sniper 2 EFI, which is a really great system if you want to get rid of your carburetor and run a compact EFI unit. All awesome stuff, and all of it is on sale for Memorial Day. And if you don't mind, use the link in my description to get there because Holley will think that's cool and keep, you know, supporting our team. Thank you. Mount it up. When you strap one of these puppies on, give a thought about where the wires are coming out. Declan already did that. Kid's on fire this week. So this goes here, up through. Find a spot. Smash it between your fins.
Oops, sorry. Red's going on with the fan. We're one step closer to running this thing down the road. There for you.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a little hot on that bend there, bud.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Push it with your fingers, maybe.
All right, if you watched last time, our exhaust wouldn't fit. So now we have flipped and tried the primaries like 3 different ways. We figured out a way we like it the best, and there is a 6-inch gap here. I'm going to cut this pipe, extend it, hopefully make it all fit. The boys in the back are holding the mufflers steady, so we know it's all gonna work. I think what happened is, whoever built this before came in, there's like 3 slip joints. It's 3 into 2 into 1, and the header tabs weren't on, kind of locking it finally into place. And when that happens, you have a lot of in and out, a lot of wiggle motion. And I think they built the exhaust like that, went back, hammered all the pipes all the way up, and then put tabs on it, and that's why it won't move now. So we are going to put tabs on it and then build the exhaust, and we should be in business, while holding the mufflers in place that we like them. Everything looks pretty fantastic. Let me get that other set of tabs.
what you wish for, but it's not what you want. got what you wish for, but it's not what you want. You got what you wish for, but it's not what you want. It's all wrong. You got what you wish for, but it's not what you want.
That's it. Welded. All right. Somewhere, wherever Barb is right now, he feels pain in his chest. MIG welded up his beautiful TIG exhaust. But guess what? It's probably gonna fit now.
Gonna fit.
All right. Don't touch it.
Yeah,
We all know about that.
she's there.
All right, we're gonna toss some hangers on this thing and then fire it up, see what it sounds like. All right, we have been thrashing for several days now. Time to reconnect with the list. Get seats, done. Rad, done. Cooling fans, done. Charging system, mostly done. We should have put accessory drive. I'm going to do that. ACCD, done. Exhaust, pretty much done. Trans tunnel, optional. Air filters, optional. We're going to come back in the morning, fill this thing up with coolant, and hit the road. I'm super pumped, but before we do that, we've got to hear it through these mufflers.
When
We got our Pipes Race Pro mufflers on there. Fired up, let's hear it in the back. Rev it up. Rev it up. There we go, that's pretty good. All right, shut it down. Awesome. Sounds awesome. That'll finish the night off beautifully, and I'll be pumped in the morning to come back here in 5 hours or whatever. All right. All right, Declan and I came in the morning. We put the radiator hoses on. We finished up fan wiring, intakes, got some filters on them. We're fired up to rip this thing down the road, but it's running kind of wonky. Remember last time we had the firing order wrong, and I finally figured out what it was. But it just doesn't want to go anywhere. So I'm going to try to get it. I've been messing with the drive-by-wire stuff. I'm going to try to... Yeah, idle's all right. I don't get any load on it. I don't know what it's doing. Trying to get it going. We are 20 feet from the road. I just want to get, last time it was revving, it was feeling good. I'm not a tuner, but I don't know if the plugs are loaded up. We should just put some, we're figuring it out. We're working on it. We're working on it. All right, after some fiddling, I think we're in business. It's running strong. It's staying cool. We're gonna hit the road for the first time ever in my V12 Fox Body Mustang. Let's go, I'm stoked. Here we go. sick. I can't floor it, and I have a hand throttle, but I'm driving this thing, I'm pumped. Woo! And it's effortless power so far. I'm breathing on the throttle because the tune's so wonky, but yeah. Oh yeah, manual brakes, very manual. Old Charlie manual over here, doing it. Holy sh**. We gotta get Declan, we gotta get him. Get in! And we had some first rips. I stopped to get Declan and it started idling super high. I am not familiar with this computer. I got a hand throttle. I got a couple rips. I got one pull up the hill. Felt really strong and really good. It's only about 93C, which is like 202 or something. Not bad at all. I'm just gonna let it cruise for a bit and we're gonna figure out what's going on. We got a little bit of a burning smell. We're trying to figure it out. But this thing is driving. We're doing it. Just not great right now. Little smoke. I'm gonna try to find a place to pull over. Let it cool off and see if we can at least get a rip or two. But it's doing it. It's been, I don't even know. I think the ignition was locked before and then it finally came to life. But it's been a mess. We're doing it. Oh, yes! Yes! Hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes. Oh no. We got water coming up. We're losing water, we're losing water. Alright, let's bring her in. Let's bring her in. We got some rips. It sounds insane. We're gonna need a big old catch can for sure. It's just breathing out of the valve covers. A little heavy, but I was on it pretty hard. Man, it's a screamer. This thing is sick. Finally got to hear this V12 opened up on the road. Car is doing incredible. I'm so pumped. I can't wait to get it tuned. We're gonna do wide body. We're gonna do some big old wheels, make this thing just as nasty as can be. This has been so sick. I'm gonna watch this footage like myself 40 times. This is awesome. That's it for this episode of Stay Tuned. It didn't get hot. I have high hopes we didn't hurt it at all, but it needs a tune for sure. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everybody that's buying merch. It really does, support the channel, and we want you rep and Stay Tuned out there. We appreciate all of it. We will see you guys next time. Later. Sick, dude.